What up, y'all? What up, though? Oh. Just want to talk, man, and say, well, specifically, man, I pray for the whole world to come to Christ, man, for real, for real. But it has been the hardest deal. It's been the hardest thing. I can't lie about it, bro. I think, man, it's hard walking with God. It's hard to let go of the occult. I love the occult. And I still do. I love nighttime, man. And, you know, I can't really compare what the walk with God would have been like without the pandemic. Because I've only been with Christ like 4.5 years. So it was like right before the pandemic. But things was already kind of weird. Like, things was already ready to shift. But I mean, regardless, it's Christ, right? Regardless, it's spirit. Trying to do something. I really want to express on, you know, how weird and difficult and I want to say simple and not shallow, but it does feel shallow. Because in the occult world, when you're, you know, divining or divination or reading or just into the astral, into the second plane, second heaven or whatever, the astral world, it's deep. It's like endless oceans. It's like literally endless. And it's substance that you can, it's very like, I want to say the next level of tangible, right? It's like, it's not physically tangible, like, oh yeah, so what I was saying. It's not physically tangible, but it's like a little more dense, right? Than I feel now. And again, I don't know how much of that is because of the pandemic, whatever, and how much of it is because how much the world's changing, what's going on with grids and like Wi-Fi's and like the outside world. I wonder how much, you know, how much of it is like specifically just sobriety, like how much, you know, of me being able to tap into the astral was because, you know, some of the drug residue, even though, you know, whatever, you know, being close to like alcohol, weed, and other things, you know, now that those doors are being shut more completely, right? Man, I don't know, but it feels simple. Like Christ light is it's like it's always fleeting. It's always just ahead of you. And it lives within you. The kingdom's within you. But the absolute, like, pure, radiant, resonating, like, presence, frequency, I was going to say, presence of God, of Christ, Yahweh, is, it doesn't necessarily stay with you. I don't think it can. I don't know if humans could be able to deal with that, you know, it being on you 24/7. But, like, with the few times where it like checks in with you and lets you know you're on the right path, it's so addicting that it keeps you chasing it. It's like a high, your new high that you're always chasing Christ though. And the second you, literally, like the second you just like cast it off and you're like, man, whatever, I'm done chasing this. Like it's like always chasing. Then it like, the world kind of turns dark. And it kind of cuts you off, and you gotta constantly be in this pursuit of Christ. And I mean, it's good. God bless. Like I've come so far, I wouldn't be alive, sober, or anything. But I mean, it is exhausting, and I think that's something that people don't really. I mean, it is exhausting when you're trying from your own will and your own strength, right? I guess I gotta definitely make that clear and said and spoken, right? Which I definitely do. And it wouldn't be exhausting if I didn't have so many worldly desires as well still, right? Which is very true. There's still much that I want from the world. I have many dreams of success and the way success looks to me. And also a desire for comfort, right? But regarding what I really want to try to say was the man, I really miss the spiritual world. Like the spiritual walk now it's like game on. It's like, all right, now you're really growing. Now you're really, you know, fighting demons and conquering and getting self-discipline. I was really on it. Before, like, there was a vast ocean of many endless possibilities of whatever I could choose. Like a lucid dream that just never ends. You can keep flying everywhere, keep going wherever your mind goes. But now it's like you're on the straight, narrow path, and you gotta just keep pursuing it. And it's in a lot of ways to the flesh is very discouraging. That's what it is. It's to the flesh is very discouraging. You feel like a puppy dog a lot of the time. They're like just a caged zoo animal that, and like I said, from the flesh, it's always, man, and I stay in the ego mind about it a lot. Upset with God, like, man, why we gotta be domesticated animals? Why we gotta, you're just like teaching us. I used to say all the time in the first like 2 years of my walk, like, I feel like a circus animal, man. Like, you're just teaching an elephant to, like, or a tiger to jump through hoops. And it's just not right. Like, it didn't, to the flesh, it's never right. But, man, my heart longs and just is broken for the past so bad constantly. It's really hard to walk into this new world, and especially when it looks so hopeless and it's changing so dramatically, and you really got to be on your toes about it, like the new world. You got to be paying attention. I miss not paying attention, right? I miss just like drinking and being a fool and just bumping music and just living life, right? Being asleep sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I've tried to go back to sleep, man. Funny enough, I'll hit the snooze for 3 hours straight and then go back to sleep. But I'm just like, man, it's the uncertainty of tomorrow or even the next minute, being on your tippy toes with your hands up to God, being like, what's going to happen next? What do you want me to do next? It's a weird place to be, and it's kind of hard to find that balance where you absolutely trust, and you're just like, whatever, I know God's got it. But you can't cast it off still. You can't say, I know God's got it, and then turn your back and go do your own thing. It's like, it's tricky, man. You got to say, I know God's got it, while you're looking at him, waiting constantly. And it never ends, right? Because it's in that pursuit. It's like a plant growing. It's got to continuously keep stretching towards the sun. It's the never-ending pursuit of life. It's just getting a lot more real now, and timelines are like crashing, and the future and past are crashing. And it's like timelines are getting pulled right from underneath your feet, man. It's crazy. Anything can happen in seconds. Like tomorrow, the whole timeline could shift. Like out of nowhere, the pandemic came. Who knows what's next? Who knows what they got brewing, man? And that's why I really wish I could just get everybody with Christ, man, to soften all the hearts and apologize for what religion's done. Plus, I mean, it's hard enough to forgive religion and Christianity. It's hard enough to deal with Christians and them piranhas, bro, just you can't do that, just chewing at you all the time. But then, after you get past all that just to get to Christ, then it's like the battlefield begins. But Christ is with you now. So, I mean, you got to really, it's like being in the eye of the storm, and you got to stay in surrender. And it's a balance of many things. Because, like, when I surrender, I'm just like, all right, whatever, I give up. And it's like, no, you don't give up. you just surrender. Now, continue doing the works that I have for you. But I'm like, well, I gotta still do it. Like, I'll be like, man, I got a problem with everything, you know. I gotta let that go. But yeah, staying out of the farm, and then once you surrender, you can do things peaceably, right? With peace. What was I gonna say? I don't see the native world like I used to. Like I'm not like connected since I've been baptized and came to Christ. I'm not connected to the earth like I was. From going to sweat lodges, from just being a night owl, you know, maybe a little bit of the mushrooms, a little bit of drugs, like whatever collective identity I had with having a relationship with the Mother Earth, Mother Earth, Gaia, whatever. It's like I said, I don't know how much of this is just the Christ Spirit changing me. How much of it is, you know, the bombardment of Wi-Fi's and all this, like, lab-grown food and who knows what else they're spraying on us, like, you know. But there is Yahweh's ancient. Yahweh is the beginning and the end. So when he says to return to the ancient pathways, you know, I see a lot of indigenous, a lot of the Aboriginal people, I see the light of God shine on them. Even if they don't identify that with being Yahweh. Like, I still feel and see that the ancient ones are still looking to the same sun that was in the beginning and is at the end. And, you know, love is it's the key ingredient to all this. No matter, you know, how many religions are clashing at war, like, it's just the clanging cymbals without love. And shoot, I kind of miss being broken. I think a lot of this really is seeing life through more of a healed lens. Like, before, my lens was shattered in like thousands of pieces, and I would manifest through each one of them as a different personality, which may or may not be different spirits, you know. Depending on, like, you know, psychology has a way of describing everything that is, you know, very accountable for all of it. And then so does spirituality, so does Christianity, so does the New Age, like everything. So, but it's really, you know, interpretation. I don't want to get too off topic, but there ain't really no topic, man. It's just this old lake walk rant. And plus, yeah, a lot of it, I feel, is just tapping into the fear of all those around. You know, it's easier to be content in nature and one with the, you know, the connectivity around you when things are at ease. But when everything's, you know, on edge, you know, we really pick up on the energies around us. Why haven't the stars came down yet? Just for real. It's taking forever, huh? Y'all be seeing stars move? I swear I'll look at a star and I'll see it shift a little bit. But it looks like it like went back to where it was, where it's supposed to be stationed. Like, I'll look up at them and I'll see them like, it's like a cloaking or like a dimensional shift. And it's like they were doing something and then they went back. Kind of, it looked like. Or maybe I'm just tripping, but yeah, Christ be the Most High. Thank God for Christ, man. I was such a reckless fool. You really got to apply the tools, man. Because like I was saying, you could learn all of it, learn and learn and learn and learn. But if you're not applying even the simplest tools, grab a few tools, a few understandings, and hold on to them. And they'll carry you. For real. Like, you don't gotta know dang old like 10 books, reading like 10 books a month, and like grab a couple principal teachings and meditate on them, chew on them, and write them in the tablet of your heart and hold on to them, and man, they'll carry you. Like, seriously. The more I just let the spiritual walk be simple, the more effective it is, man. The more I try to overcomplicate it and be like master guru, or like fast too much or pray for like 4 hours unnecessarily, like the more I do too much, it's out of flesh, it's out of ego. It can be. Usually it typically will become. It's by works. It becomes works. Yeah, we'll keep rolling, man. I pray for this world, I try to remember always that God allows things, right? So if He allows it, then we're capable of it for the most part. Ah, man. Yeah. Gotta giddy up. Let the past be the past and try to release, man. It's difficult. It's difficult when you've made so many plans on how you want life to be. When you've invested in so much and the way you want things to turn out. But it's all vanity. Yeah, it comes back to vanity. It's selfishness, right? But when you can realize it is vanity and then surrender, you can pursue in a steadfast way that is humble, that allows you to enjoy the journey. Because a lot of times we get trapped in this, like, manifesto reality, trying to make everything happen. And man, we know that we should be enjoying the journey, That's one of the simple things. But if we could just chew on that one. One of my biggest fears is people being dependent on me. Responsibility. That's scary. As a nocturnal vagabond, just wanderer, no one's dependent on you. They let you be isolated. Responsibility is difficult. And that's a big part on the spiritual walk. Like, having people that depend on you, man, that's terrifying. Especially with like how reckless I was, unstable, Thank God I haven't had kids yet. He protected me from that. But not just kids. Anytime you speak truth to the world, you put yourself in a position of responsibility to not misguide people. Not to make the little ones stumble, as we are all little ones, because there's no teacher. The Holy Spirit teaches you Himself. Not to intentionally make anyone stumble is the main point. But man, I was drunk and running and falling. Plus also the burden of being like not being able to wander. Because wandering, I have such a wandering heart, man. I love to wander. I wish I could just, take off to California right now. Go to Arizona right now. And just be on the road and keep going and jumping and traveling. But responsibility makes you grow so fast. That's one of the quickest things that'll make you grow. It makes you pay attention. That makes you have to stay on your toes. You got somebody watching you 24/7, learning from you, mimicking you, right? And all that stuff. You're like, whatever, it's not a big deal. It kind of becomes a big deal. And the guy shows you from it, man, life's a trip, bro. That's why it's better just to shut up. It's better just to shut up. I'll be loving the stars, man. I want to see the whole world. I just got too many dreams, man. I'm trying to do it all my damn self. Uh-oh. The clock's ticking. And God be with you. Much love. Shout out right here.